Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Ian from Wonder Technical Solutions. You're here, you should know that by now. And I'm here to talk to you today about an update to Google Meet. I'm going to go into that a lot very shortly. I'm just going to let people join. We're meant to be going live at 1:15, so just a bit of chat before we go live. Hope everyone is well. It is a wet day here in Northeast England. I hope it's a bit better where you are. Autumn has definitely arrived. Starting to organise Halloween. It's a bit crazy. Halloween, then here we have bonfire night. Very quickly it jumps into Christmas and the end of the year. So yeah, summer's over and already plans for the end of the year come up very, very fast. But yes, I appreciate you joining me today. And you will be seeing my face, not just the Google screen that's right in front of you. I didn't want to have a little screen with me on it because very soon it's going to be completely me and there's enough of me to go around on those screens. So let's start a bit about Google Meet, what Google Meet is and why it should be important to you. Google Meet is one of those video communication services, a bit like Zoom. Zoom is the communication service that during lockdown, it was virtually fully featured and they built on it very fast. And it's one that we all went to. It had all the features that we wanted, including interactive backgrounds, including methods of having the breakout rooms, all sorts of things that some of the other ones didn't quite come out with. The two main ones that that's up against Zoom that you will use are Teams and Google Meet. And Teams and Google Meet are for slightly different audiences. Teams is integrated with Microsoft 365 and Microsoft. It's the whole suite that Microsoft's got. So when you're in Teams, there is chat services, there is elements that sit outside the team video and that allow you to bring it into the Teams video that aren't, what's the right word for this, that aren't just solo. So in Zoom, if you do a chat, it just sits there for that one particular session you're in. When you go, it disappears. In Teams, that chat continues outside of the video. It continues to the next video. It's a because it's a communication platform. And so Teams is slightly different based. It's very much for businesses. It's very much for creating teams, as it says. Google Meet sits in between those two. And so Google Meet, really what you got with Google Meet is this halfway house where you can integrate it with Google Workspace. Google Workspace is Google's equivalent to Microsoft. And with Google Meet, it's that communication service that sits within. It's trying to emulate a lot of what Zoom does with the communication method that Teams does. So it's that sort of halfway house that you get. I'm just going to make sure that audio is working before I go into a bit more about Google Meet. Bear with me for 2 moments. Are you going to? Yeah, so perfect. So you can see everything and audio is working, and so that's brilliant. So I'm going to go into what's changed about Google Meet, because this week on Monday, Google Meet actually brought in video backgrounds. And video backgrounds have been in Zoom for a long time, and it's something I've been wanting them to add to Google Meet from as soon as it's been in Zoom, to be fair. So where do you get Google Meet? Well, in your normal Google homepage, google.com, Google Meet is one of the apps that is down here. There it is there. Now it's also available in Google Workspace, the exact same. As I said, Google Meet is the halfway house, and so it's embedded within the business platform. but it's also standalone for personal meetings, and I use it on All Networking, for example. All Networking, their networking events happen online on Google Meet. So Google Meet, here we are here. And for today, I'm just going to start a new meeting, not going to invite everyone else, just to show you this new update, because there is a slight glitch that I'm sure they're going to fix very shortly. But again, they're not advertising Google the video backgrounds. It's not something you go in, it's like, hey, this is new. So this is why I wanted to give you this update, and so that you yourself can use it. So I'm going to start an instant meeting. There I am. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to turn off my audio on here and just make sure that you guys can still hear me. There I am. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to turn off my audio on here. So, brilliant. So, basically, here I am, and as you can see, the background is behind me and it's moving. Before that, the backgrounds within Google were static. Now, how can you get yourself one of these interactive backgrounds, and why are they important? That's two very important questions. And so there's more options here. Now, when you go into Google, if you are joining a meeting, you'll have an option which will say apply visual effects. There used to be video settings and things like that. Now they call them visual effects. It's just because of the changes that's within. But if you haven't set them up before you go into a meeting, the options are under these three dots, apply visual effects. Now, let's do me. Hello, everyone. Now, the reason why I realized that this was embedded is because they actually added their own little interactive backgrounds that you can see. And so as soon as I saw that this week, I was like, there's something new. There's something new here. There's something new that is interactive. So we've got this nice spaceship background, which is moving behind me. And they've got some other ones. I haven't tested any of these out. Hey, forest and a squirrel. But you don't have to use their standard ones. You can add your own. Now, this is where the slight glitch, and they haven't quite updated all the options come in yet. Because here you'll see it says upload a background image. And they don't say, oh, upload a background image or video. They just say upload a background image. And the thing is that when you go in here, they won't show you your videos. Their customized file selection is still for images only. So it will look like you can't update videos. It'll look like that. The only videos you can do are the Google videos. Now, I'm sure they're gonna fix this update, but you yourself can get around it. And it's very simple to get around. On this customized file, you go to all files. And you can't see that on screen. So let me just show you that. Let me just get that up. Let me just stop sharing this for a moment. Let me just share my full screen. There we go. Brilliant. It's just so that I can show you this. So in here, as I mentioned before, you go into these options and you go into apply visual effects. And here, where it's got the add background, let's make sure that you can see this. Yeah, well, brilliant. Right, in this add background, you need to change from customized files to all files, because when you go in, it's just looking for the images. Google haven't made their update yet so that their customized files include videos. So when you change that to all files, all the files, whether the videos, PDFs, whatever it is, are going to be in there. But your videos, you can just search for your particular video files. MP4, for example, and just get your video files up. And then the one that you want to show, you can click on. And there you have your background. So it's going to be reversed, and the mirroring doesn't quite work the same in Google Meet as it does in Zoom. I'm just going to go back to our original share option in there. So just bear with me for a quick moment. There we go. Brilliant. That's much better. Right. So that's how you get your videos on there. Now, let's have a quick talk about why video backgrounds are useful. You've heard the saying that a picture says 1,000 words. Videos have multiple pictures, so they sell a lot more words. And if you're in lots of networking meetings, and if you're speaking to clients and new potential clients, you might want to be able to give them a bit of a taste in terms of what it is that you can offer. Because in a general conversation, if you're doing a 60-second networking, you can't say in that 60 seconds everything that possibly do. If you're speaking to a client about a particular project of theirs, they might not realize another element that you're selling. Now, so you're looking at this is all backwards, but for the clients that you're talking to, it's going to be obviously forward. And so what are the type of things that I put on my background? Well, let me play my background for you without me in it, obviously, but so it's the right way around. And let's have a look to see what it is that I have in my backgrounds. So if you just bear with me for one moment while I load this up. Yeah, so this update, as I said, came out on Monday. I've done some searches on it. There are some tech news elements on this, and so that it is promoted in a way, but it's not something that when you go into Google that jumps out and says, "Hey, look what we have here." Right, so let me share this with you. Bear with me. No, I haven't quite fixed that yet, so just 2 seconds. Two seconds, apologize for this. I'm just going to get the video up. I just want to make sure that this is, and we've got a ringing in the background. And 2 seconds, nearly there. Converted. 2 seconds. Let me just share this with you. Right, brilliant. Right. Right, so this is the background that I use. And as you can see, there's a gap in the middle for me to sit when I'm talking to people. But the main reason why I use this background is to give my potential clients and networking a bit more of an overview, as I said, of what I do, what I offer. And so the first one on the right there, maybe left to show, but the first one, this corner anyway, is communication theory. And so it gives a bit of a conversation piece. Obviously, you can't see all the details there, but it's like, what's that about? Well, why communication theory? And it's a conversation piece about making sure that the organization structure, that communication goes not just one way, but both upstream and downstream, so that information that the people need further downstream actually get to them and it's correct. And it's it's there for discussion piece. All everything you're going to see here is there to develop conversation. So when people go, why is that in there? What does that mean? It's an explanation of what I offer. Communication in terms of the organization structure is one of those. It's got my banner in there, WTS, bringing order to chaos. It gives people straight away an understanding of what it is that I offer. And there's an explanation there about the different levels. So it's business support, organizational. Hey, this is the wrong video. Bear with me. That is video file. Hey, this is the right. So this is the actual one that I use. You see it's much longer and it's not just on about communication theory, which is much better. So communication theory, as I mentioned before, for the discussion about communication going upstream and downstream. And then the next element of it is the process maps, which if anyone's seen any of my videos recently, it's a major part of what I do, going in and producing process maps for businesses, going in and making sure that the businesses have got the efficiency and we're checking it. But then it goes back to the more fun element of my marketing. And here we've got Tetris. It's recognizable as Tetris. But why? What's Tetris got to do with anything? And again, it's that developing that conversation. And Tetris is there because it represents planning. When we've got our tasks to do, it's very easy to incorrectly plan and fill up our schedules, our day-to-day, and not achieve anything, just literally just get to the point where we've filled up our board, i.e. the Tetris pieces, without actually achieving anything. And with WTS, I help you fit those pieces in, and so that you can achieve something. And again, it's there because somebody, it's recognizable and it's immediate. Why are we looking at this? What's this got to do with your business? And I explain what it's got to do with my business. And so here we've got the Tetris pieces fitting nicely together as we would want them to do. And it builds up to actual a Tetris, which is 4 rows if people haven't played Tetris before. And it's just developing that conversation piece. With a static background, you're not going to get that. You could have one of these elements, but you're not going to get this. Now, how can you guys get one of these interactive backgrounds? You can make your own. I made this in PowerPoint, very straightforward, with elements being brought in and animation and things like that. Or you could come to myself, depending on how complex you want it. This one's 5 minutes long, and a 5-minute video is going to cost you about £54. If you want a longer one with some more interactive elements, it's going to be a bit more. But again, that's a conversation that we can have. And it's just what represents your business. And an important part of what represents your business is testimonials, which we will come to very shortly on this. And so as the video progresses, it's got about what we do with admin, draw repetitive tasks. But as I mentioned, actually having your testimonials on here for people to see what people have said about you, and having it not just one particular statement, but multiple statements, it's critical. It's a important element of what all of us do. So an impromptu live, I just wanted to go through the fact that Google Meet now have interactive backgrounds. I wanted just to go through some of the additional options of how you get them, because as I said, it's not like it is just available in the options. It doesn't come up with videos, and it doesn't even give you the option to pick a video unless you actually change it to all options. But it is a very useful update, and if you guys would like an interactive background, you either make it yourself or have a chat with me. I can produce something very much like this, and you can use these interactive backgrounds across virtually all of the platforms. Zoom especially. I've been using this in Zoom for a while. Google Meet. I've not checked Teams recently to see if they've updated it, but if Google Meet's got it and Zoom's got it, you can guarantee that if Teams haven't, they'll have it very shortly. And we're still going to be online for the foreseeable future by the looks of it. Face-to-face networking has started, which is absolutely brilliant, but moving forward, it definitely looks like a hybrid. Online networking is so much more convenient. It's greener, better for the environment, and you can sell your business when you're not saying anything. When you're sitting there, just listening to other people, your background can be selling you. Your background can have that factor of people going, great meeting. I saw some things in your background which I wasn't quite sure what they were relating to. What's the Tetris got to do? Starts that conversation, picks up that client, and moves things forward. Sometimes these backgrounds are over the too interactive for one-to-one conversations, which is fine. You can then alter it and have multiple backgrounds in there to move things forward. So hope that's been useful. Thank you very much for your time today. Sorry for the delay in getting this video up when I was showing it, but other than that, going to be doing a live either next week or the week after, talking about a more efficient way to produce blogs. Not talking about content. There's some really good content creators out there, but just some conversations I had recently with people saying the struggle to actually write the blog. But they can talk. They can talk about the business and about aspects for 15, 20 minutes. And those two, in terms of the blog and the talking, do go hand in hand. And it's something where either next week or the week after, I will come online and talk about. If you've got any questions, come and message me in the many different ways there are. Email ian@warrender.ltd, or on Facebook Messenger, in all the comment sections. So whatever it is, let me know. At any point, there are links all over the place for having a meeting with me, 30 or 60 minutes. First hour is always free, and let's chat and see what we can do for you. Thank you very much. And I hope everyone has a good weekend when it starts. Bye for now.